everyone, and welcome to REZOcast episode 147. This is Lego, and I've got with me Hove, Wilson, and our guest from Team Resolute, himself, herself. We've got Mama Gator. Mama Gator, welcome to the show.
I was very lost of what the heck was just happening. I'm not gonna lie.
Do you know what he's talking about now, though?
Yes.
Okay,
yes,
just
I
making sure.
know
You looked confused.
Well, because the way he was leading up to it, I'm just like, hello? Is there someone else in this call that I don't know about?
They've just been lurking the whole time.
Hey,
Teams is in here?
Before we get to anything else, I just want to tell chat that let me know. I've had to change around lots of audio settings lately, so if I need to go up higher than them or whatever, let me know. But other than that, Lego, take it away.
Also, hold on, chat. If DCP talks shit, let us know too.
Oh, they
Lego,
will.
Take it away.
Yeah, you gotta let us know, y'all. Okay, so episode 147. I know I'm just giving man a hard time because we were having a conversation about all this cross-save stuff is basically brought up that everybody has different usernames, like based off of like their old Steam accounts, Battle.net, Xbox, PlayStation, and so not everyone has a unified, you know how Mana, he expresses his YouTube channel versus Twitch channel and tries to get right what his name actually is. And
I feel like I should know both of them off the top of my head, but I'm just bad. So, I mean, there's that.
Well, I will never forget Mama Gator. That's going to stick with me for a while.
It stuck with me forever.
Well, welcome to REZOcast. If you've never been here before, we are a podcast based off of the clan Team Resolute out of Destiny. We are a Destiny podcast, but we like to fool around, talk about a lot of other stuff, and like to do word insertion, which is a little game we play here where we throw in words that y'all don't know what they are, and we don't know what each other's words really are, but we try to fit them in. So if you hear us laughing randomly or hear us ding, that means we found a word.
I send everyone terrible words that they don't want to say, but they have to. And lately, they've been giving me, like, Mana's word today. Kind of, I don't want to say it.
No.
You don't want to say that one? Out of everything?
How did Mama Gator not be somebody's word? Like, I feel like that would have been
Because it would have been too easy. It's too easy to fit in.
Yeah.
We already talked about it.
You're right. You're right. Well, this week's crazy. We got cross save. We didn't even get a chance to talk about last week. The Luke Smith diaries continued with a third letter about PvP, so we'll talk about that tonight because that happened like the day after, we podcast and everybody podcasts, so all the Destiny podcasts are like wait, so we got PvP stuff to talk about, some huge news there. We've got the Gamescom trailer for both Shadowkeep and Season of the Undying, and we have a little bit of a TWAB today too. But first, Hove, how's your week, man?
I'm so tired.
Yeah?
How tired are you?
Is there a scale I should be aware of?
I thought there was like a punchline.
Hey, you shouldn't be that tired because we just won a duo round of PUBG. I'm just saying you should be pretty hyped.
That made me more tired.
Your adrenaline should be.
You were stressed the entire time.
No, I was dead. Lego killed the last guy, so.
I did. Hey, how many kills did you have that game? I felt like I did really good.
Just one.
I had 4.
That's 8.
Nice.
You just showed 8.
Well, I was
was 8.
Twice as excited.
That was so in case somebody was looking on either side of the screen.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought he was trying to exploit deaf people. That would have been not very nice.
Jesus.
Oh wow.
Exploit them.
What?
So, well, they would have thought you had. Never mind. My week's been good, just really busy. We have a lot of stuff at work. I've just been running around like crazy, driving around, doing stuff. I played a little, after cross save yesterday, I played a little bit of D2 on PC, and it was nice. Me, Wilson, Spiffy, Jimmy Pike,
Jimmy.
HK.
Jimmy.
That's
was
cool.
here. It was a good
God,
time.
it was so good to hear his voice.
Yeah, I don't know. I tried to get a little Daddy Hulk action in, but
Jesus Christ. What?
What?
What you were saying though with cross save, I'm excited to hear all the stories that have happened lately between.
Do you want to hear about Daddy Hulk?
I don't know, not that story in particular, but the story about, all the Tower Life people getting together and then, just other clans reuniting, like our clan even. lots of people playing together, which I'll jump into some of that later too. But I'm sure we'll have lots of those stories. I'm excited to hear.
I have a story
about everybody coming together.
I have a story about Daddy Hulk. I
Oh.
called Rally Daddy Hulk when I was the little spoon. So, anyways, you can continue.
Thank you for adding context.
Yeah,
to that.
Rally and Mana shared a bedroom at Guardian Con is what
Yeah,
happened.
Guardian Con. Mhm.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How big was the bed?
Twin sized, I'm pretty sure.
What was
He
it? Did you say king size?
No, twin sized.
Oh,
mine
better.
was king sized.
Even better.
Yeah, he had
I had my own
Yeah,
bathroom.
of course he did.
Anyway.
Last time
he had
we
Daddy
went down
Hulk
there, I
sized
was,
room. So
I was tempted to just crawl into bed with Hove,
I invited you.
but I know how he gets,
Oh.
so
What does that mean?
I was a little reserved. So when we went to Gen Con the other weekend, I was sharing a bed with Great American Hero, and I was like, bro, if I could have the left side, that'd be great, because like I will wake up, and if I sleep on the right, I will wake up and randomly grope to my left. And I was like, he does the same thing but the opposite way. And he's
Oh, so
like,
y'all worked it out.
he goes, if it freaks you out, I could sleep on the floor. And I was like, nah, dude, I'm pretty comfortable with my sexuality.
We'll risk
we've,
it.
We've known each other for like 5-6 years now. Like, it's all good.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. There was no spooning, unfortunately. Maybe next time.
disappointed.
Yeah.
Mana, did you jump on D2 cross save stuff at all? No, I was actually just saying today when I was out, we were shopping and I was like, I was telling James like we should probably go and actually do all the cross save stuff. Like
It only
soon.
takes honestly, I was like flabbergasted at how easy it was. It was like the BNet to Steam transfer was like both things. I did it. Like I clicked on a few things and it was like, great, you're done. And I was like, what did I not do? Like, what did I forget to do? Like, that was too quick. It literally takes like 30 seconds to do both. And then I just jumped on my PC and it was ready to roll.
It's quicker than a round of Space Invaders.
I was about to say, with my luck, something would happen, and I'd be like, Houston, we have a problem, and I won't figure it out, and then I'd rage quit.
We were all worried,
Listen.
so worried about that. And
Wilson was so high, and he did it.
Dude, it's so high. It's so high. Oh my god, it's so easy. Hippie could do it. Dude, I can't even fucking. Dude, I'm out. Peace. Dude, you can hit me up on Twitter at REZOcast.
No, for real, me and Wilson were freaking out at the same time because I saw in REZOcast Discord, he was typing in there. He was like, dude, I want to make sure I'm doing this right. You know, I don't want to delete the character I actually want. And I felt the same way because I had my Battle.net account I have OG like Destiny 2. I don't have the expansion though, but I wanted it so that I could play Destiny now, because if you don't own Destiny on PC, you can't play it yet for free until October 1st. So I wanted to get that worked out, but I didn't want it to think that my PC was my main character, so I was kind of worried about everything. But it was super easy. I just went on there, clicked migrate from Steam to Steam, and it did that fine. And then after that, I just clicked on the cross save thing and clicked my PS4, and it just worked instantly. I was like, that was the easiest thing and so simple and not confusing. Not only that, but you can't actually delete any of your characters that way. Like, even if you did it wrong, it puts a 90-day like hold on the characters that you didn't pick, but it doesn't delete them.
Well, I think you can deactivate cross save at any time. You can't reactivate it again for 90 days.
Right. That's right.
Oh,
so you could even shut it off instantly and go back to doing whatever you were doing. Hove's right. Yeah. You just can't turn on and off whenever you want. Except for Hove, he can do that.
I turn it on.
He has the power.
I was one of the unfortunate people who kept getting the internal 500 server error or whatever, and it was just because of like mass traffic. And I kept telling myself like, it'll work, and like they made several posts saying that they were aware of it. I actually saw on the BNet forums they were coming in and commenting on every single post of people who were posting about that error, and they're like, dude, we're working on it, we're very well like aware of it. And I thought it was cool that they were even like going through the forums, like telling people like it's all good. They were telling people on Twitter, we're working on it. So I was like, man, this might take a little while. And I think it was probably like maybe like an hour and 15 minutes after cross save had went live, I finally got in, but I was so worried for nothing. It was like plain as day.
So easy, yeah.
It was plain as day. Like, so you want to use this account on these platforms, and like lays it out in front of you in a very detailed, little, easy to follow line chart.
I'm gonna have to do that either tomorrow or the next day, definitely.
Yeah, it's really fast. The only thing that, the only small issue I had, and it felt like someone was fucking with me, like it was like a Three Stooges skit, was like my PS4, because the first thing you have to do is just authenticate each account to make sure that it's you, like your PS4, your Steam, and your BNet, since I had already transferred. And it had PS4 and BNet, and it was like, sign in to Steam to authenticate. I was like, okay, cool. And I signed in, and I clicked login, and popped authenticated, except then my PS4 one, like, unauthenticated. And I was like, what the fuck? So I clicked on PS4, and it authenticated, and Steam unauthenticated. And I was like, is someone fucking with me? And finally, it worked.
Well, those are kind
that
of
was
like
really an anticlimactic story, wasn't it? I'm sorry.
No. A lot of people had that happen where they were trying to authenticate, and it like went back and forth and back and forth. And those are really the only two errors people got, was the internal server error that Wilson was getting, because Loki, I know, was having a big problem with that. But I also saw people having your problem, Hove, of the authentication. And so I think most of that seems to be resolved. I don't see anyone still having any problems. And for them to have it that smoothed over in the process of like a day, like pretty much everyone got theirs working in a day. I think Anon was maybe the last person I saw, like the person it took the longest, because I saw like hours had passed and he was still like, can people get in yet or whatever? But everyone eventually got in, I feel like.
You guys know me, I'm always done fast.
Well,
Hove always gets in. I'm sorry.
And always flaccid.
No, well,
things don't matter. Kind of like a flagellum, you know?
Dude, I don't know about you guys, but like as soon as it was done, like I hopped right in, and it was a seamless transition.
Oh, we're talking about the game now.
Yeah.
Like, as soon as it was done, I hopped right in, bro. But no, like literally, cross save was done, jumped on, started playing, got to pick up like right where I left off on console. Wasn't held back by anything. Had all my gear. Kind of got the feel for mouse and keyboard a little bit, like, because when D2 first came out on PC, I got into it enough that like I was extremely comfortable with mouse and keyboard. And last night we did, I don't know what, Hove, like 7, 8 Crucible matches.
At least, because I got my 5, like the powerful engram for 5 way before we were done. Probably close to 10.
Yeah, and having an absolute blast, like all the people that Hove named off earlier, having a great time. Each game, I could see my progression going up, and it was getting nicer. Like, I still obviously got like a lot of practice to do, but I'm really excited. Like today at work, I was like in the middle of finishing this like parking lot size fucking driveway. Like, it was crazy huge. And I was like, dude, I just kind of want to like be at home right now working on my mouse and keyboard skills. Like, so it's cool to have that feeling again. Like, even though there's not really like a whole lot more to do per se right now, I'm excited to play on a new platform with like all the frames and like the weapons feeling different, and to like strive to just get better at mouse and keyboard. Like, it's just a new peripheral. Like, it's something to challenge myself with. Yeah, and I'm lazy. I can challenge myself with it and be at home.
I think the most important thing that happened this whole week, though, Wilson, I'll let you tell man on everybody. Lego earned a new nickname.
What?
Oh, he did.
Oh,
that's
really?
Right.
Now?
So I feel like, okay, should we say the nickname, or should we tell the story and then the nickname?
I feel like the nickname speaks for itself.
Lego is now officially known as the Pussy Wrangler.
So, how did this come about? I heard
he doesn't even know.
As soon as I came into the room, Wilson starts yelling at me about this, and I don't know what's going on.
Wasn't yelling.
Okay. You were appropriately like saluting me.
Yeah, his volume was very appropriate, Lego.
So, I come into Discord and it's just Hove, but like Lego's in the call. Before I can say where's Lego, he goes, Lego's out there wrangling up all of his pussies, and like, cause he's the cats.
Oh, right.
The cats. And I go, so he's the pussy wrangler, and he started cracking up. So that's why I called you that when you got.
To give you full credit here, I just said he's gathering up all his pussies, and you said he's like the pussy wrangler, and I said, yeah, he is.
Yeah.
I bet you when he's wrangling them up, he calls them y'all. Y'all get over here.
Y'all go on get. That's how you do it.
Go on get.
You killed Mama Gator.
I need that as a notification now. My latest sub notification. Y'all good? Wait, what was it? Say it again.
Yeah, whatever. No, when someone raids me, it's gonna say y'all go on get.
Oh no, y'all go on get.
Right there, clip that. I need to say that.
That is how Jimmy talks. Jimmy can relate.
My text is showing. Man. Okay. So I had a cool experience too with cross save. I haven't played with anyone yet, but like it was cool the experience of. So I don't have a PC set up to do it. I could like, I could do it on my Mac like through Boot Camp, or it'd be really crappy. But I wanted to like see the graphics and everything, so I ran it through GeForce Now, like streaming a PC. If you have the beta, it's free to play. Like that's how I play PUBG all the time. It works really well for that. So I was like, I'll just use it for D2. I know I can use a controller. I tried using a controller before, but it didn't feel right. But basically, all the new cross save got everybody talking about PC settings again. And so I was like, well, maybe I can figure out what works for me. And so I turned it on. And with the streaming PC, it's basically like a mega computer. You can do any graphics you want on it. So I just cranked everything, and started using mouse and keyboard. And it was so, like, just shockingly different, like the field of view and how fast mouse and keyboard was, that I physically got sick, like, trying to keep up with what I was doing. Because my mind was moving so much faster than I was used to.
I was
like,
actually,
I
poisoned you.
Oh, that's what that was. Oh, okay.
Astacross had a video that he was talking about. He was talking
again.
about people who were making the transition from console to PC, like giving them tips, giving them insight, giving them some things to look out for, so it's not like as like crazy as a jump. And one of the things he did bring up was motion sickness.
Oh, really? Okay.
So within
not alone.
Within Destiny, there are. You can cap your frame rate.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe start with like 40 or 50.
Yeah,
180.
How that feels before.
I would say you've played other things in 60 even though, haven't you?
I have.
Yeah, but this is like, imagine your entire life. Okay, maybe not your entire life. How long have you been playing Destiny?
4 years, 5 years,
5 years. 5 years of your life you got used to just the way Destiny looks and feels on console, and then you jump over to PC and all of a sudden you're in a fucking Ferrari cruising down the highway, going 160 damn miles an hour.
Get it.
Like
it's like
in the fast lane.
It's like when it's like when you do The Stranger.
100%.
1000%.
Does anyone know what I'm talking about?
I know exactly what I know.
To all of that, yes, that's kind of exactly what I was feeling, because
it was like The Stranger.
No, so
do you know what that is?
Funny story about that.
It looked like different. Like whenever
looks like you're about to say a funny story about that.
No, yeah, whenever you jump on, just not just like what you're looking at, but the switch from both visually, the 60 frame, like all the frames, the field of view, and the speed of like, and using like a different input like mouse and keyboard. If you're not used to using that on Destiny, that also feels different. And so while it felt good to use mouse and keyboard, it also was kind of just jarring.
You're making this comparison stronger and stronger as you go.
Next time, Lego, next time you get on PC, let's hop into Discord, let's look at your settings, let's kick down the frames a little bit, and let's also take down your mouse sensitivity a little bit as well.
That's what I ended up doing today. Because that was last night. I jumped back on today and kind of adjusted everything a lot lower. And then I also was messing with the VSync, because that was a lot of conversation was like, don't have VSync on, do have it on. And so I turned it all off, because you have it on the streaming platform and in the game, and I had it off in the game but on the streaming platform, and it actually works well for the streaming platform with a mouse and keyboard input, so I never had a problem with PUBG. But playing that way through Destiny, if I use a controller, there's input lag, like it doesn't feel right at all, so I have to turn it off on everything before I can use a controller. And that's what made me not play on PC this whole time, was because I wanted to use a controller because that's what I feel comfortable on, but I couldn't because there was so much input lag. But once I turned off all the VSync through the streaming device and through Destiny, then there's no input lag, and the screen's kind of choppy a little bit, but it like I could actually play it with friends. Like I would feel comfortable doing that, I think. So I'm excited to jump into it later this week with some of Team Rezo. Oh, the cool experience I was gonna say for me this week was, as soon as I jumped on, I'd never experienced the PC chat stuff before, and that there's a clan chat that you immediately see on the side, and immediately so like everyone was jumping in like, oh, Lego's here, and Monk was in there, and Azrael Speaks, like everybody was just right there, like talking to me immediately. And I was like, whoa.
Monk greeted everyone with a penis in clan chat.
Oh.
Seriously, that happened.
That wasn't
it
how
was
I
an
greeted,
8,
but...
and
no, it was a 3. It was a 3.
Oh, that's right. It was a 3, and then it was like 8 equal signs. So it was.
Maybe I was.
It was.
I didn't recognize the peen.
It was a gag. I brought it up.
Have you never seen one?
Not Monks. Now I have.
I mean, they all look like pretty close to the same. I'm pretty sure. Same general idea, Lego.
He's so innocent and cute. No, it was really cool.
Y'all gonna get
that up.
All right.
Lego, I'm really glad that you brought that up, because I was gonna mention
Monk's
that
penis.
a little bit ago. It's cool. It's an exciting time for everyone right now. Like everyone can play anywhere, any platform, have their shit, and be good to go with friends. And I've seen all kinds of shit. Like I've seen JB Mega was excited that he could take his stuff over to Xbox and play with Xbox people. I've seen people happy from going from PS4 to PC. I've seen even people that are excited that they could even play on PS4 now if they wanted to.
Yeah, no, actually, Andrew, who used to do the sound stuff for Crucible Radio, me and him have been talking a lot, but he's on Xbox, and he was like, oh, we finally get to, he's like, I've got a PS4 too, I just never played on it, because, you know, all my stuff's on Xbox. So finally, like, all those connections can be made that we've all been friends through the Destiny community, but we've never been able to play together before. So
we're not
lots
really
of potential. It's really cool. There was one other thing. Did you see some of Team Rezo was raiding together already the first night?
Oh yeah.
Some Rezo did a raid together. Really cool.
I'm down. I want to do one after the podcast.
I think Mana fell asleep.
He doesn't have his lighting set up.
Hey,
so
I just want to congratulate
Moody
Mana that he hasn't blown himself up yet.
Oh yeah.
It's very true, and that blew up a lot of things in the past like 2 weeks.
He blew so many things.
So you have no idea.
Wow.
No, but seriously, yo, I got the. Oh, I think I said this last week, but yeah, I got to fire like grenade launcher and everything. Yo,
yeah, that was crazy.
The job's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. This week has been really slow because we ran out of parts, and I'm not allowed to jump on board with production and all that since I'm kind of like.
Since you don't know how to make any of the things?
No, they taught me, so I know how to, like, I inspect what they do, so, but I'm not, since I don't have anything really to blow up, I'm just kind of just wandering around.
You still get paid though, right?
Yeah, it's easy money, don't get me wrong, but the days go by slow. Like,
slow.
It's one of those,
yeah, that's rough.
I couldn't even go to the firing range, we didn't have anything to shoot or, like, test, and it was crazy and boring, pretty much. But I mean,
he needs that Stadia on his phone so he can log into Destiny.
Here's another thing: the buildings don't allow any service to go through.
Oh no!
So I have to leave the building in order to get phone service. But if I leave the building, then it's like people are like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Not my job currently."
Speaking of Stadia, not to get into this whole discussion now, but Stadia got some pretty good reviews out of Gamescom this past week.
Oh yeah.
I saw that. Paris was talking good about it, and who else? IGN's people were talking good about it.
Fran had some good things to say previously on that other podcast that
that we won't speak of.
Yeah. But no, it's getting some good things going on.
Yeah, no, I'm excited about it, especially having played a little bit of D2 on GeForce, and it's like not quite there, and so it's exciting to think about the possibility of having Stadia as an option for everybody who, not that you can't, because I know PCs are cheap, but sometimes just the setup, like at home setup, or like lifestyle, like it would just be easier to use something like Stadia. So I'm excited for everybody out there to get a chance to try it out. I guess next month.
Small thing I'm excited for.
November,
and I don't even know if this is gonna happen, if it's gonna be a thing. But something I'm excited about for Steam is sometimes when you play, if they add Steam achievements to Destiny, I think that'd be cool, because sometimes when you get achievements in games, you get these little trading card things, and it's through Steam, and they're usually themed and related to your game. So it'd be cool to kind of get it's just a small, tiny little thing. You can like sell them on the market for like, I think the most I've sold one was for like $1.10 or something like that. Normally they're like 10 cents or something because they're so common, but it's just cool little things that you can do. Like I've totally pinched pennies on like selling stuff from PUBG and selling stuff from other games on the Steam market, and I don't know, it's cool.
Nice.
I bought games from it, so.
Yeah, no, I was thinking about the Steam market too, because if you purchase silver through Steam potentially, because you say you play PUBG, and you get some cool gear by happenstance, you go sell that gear on Steam market, you get a few bucks, you bring it over to Destiny, buy some silver. Like, wouldn't that be possible? Am I like making all that? Is this not possible? I feel like that could be a thing.
What, like selling an in-game item?
Yeah, because I've done that for PUBG before. You just
I just don't think that's gonna. I don't think that's how it's gonna work.
Yeah, Destiny would have to like allow that.
Yeah, right.
No. I'm not saying you sell stuff through Destiny. I'm saying you could buy silver though, like with your Steam money. Like, don't you think?
Oh yeah, you could buy. You could sell shit from other games like PUBG.
Yeah,
and stuff.
That's what I'm saying.
You're totally right. You're totally right. Like, oh, my bad.
Yeah,
my
which
bad,
I don't know. I didn't know if maybe you'd have to buy silver through BNet or if you could go through Steam, but I'd assume you could use your Steam money to do that.
I think they said something about purchasing silver through Steam.
I don't see why not, because I mean, yes, you can get money from Steam by selling stuff, but it's also like you can put real money on there. Like, so as far as any other company is concerned, that's legit money.
Wallet.
Yeah,
that should be integrated within the game. So
yeah,
dollar bill, y'all.
Yeah, sounds cool. So lots of possibilities like coming up, and we're still all learning like how cross save is working. Like, we'll see how it progresses, because I'm sure we'll figure out new stuff as we go. But to kind of put a cap on the cross save conversation, I just want to say, like, bravo to Bungie's team who put this together. I saw there were just so many devs. If you want to go see some of the people that are involved on my Twitter, I like retweeted one of the developers' comments about like how he like tweeted out a bunch of different names that like these people like really made this happen. They're like the bomb, you know.
That was a really sneaky way to plug your own Twitter. Like, I'm proud and disgusted at the same time.
I didn't have time to look up my own, so I didn't want to call it all out.
Proud and disgusted at the same time.
No, there was just so many people involved, and I want to like give them like the biggest props I can, because it's like one of the cleanest like launches I've seen for something was a bunch of spaghetti code,
Oh, they talked about, I mean, all the things that have happened. I mean, big content releases, yeah, everyone says, like, oh, yeah, we worked hard, like, we're happy this works, but this was the one thing it really seemed like everybody was, like, back and forth between each other, like, we worked so hard, I'm amazed that this happened. Like,
they were super excited to unveil it, like, they were like, oh
my
god.
They poured champagne all over each other.
Including me. They actually came to my house, specifically.
In a line. It was like a conga line. And they dumped
every single dev.
They're like, congrats.
Mana was the chalice.
Like Callus' chalice?
Yeah, exactly. The Callus chalice.
I hate you.
Oh, speaking of,
talking about that more later. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk more about that. I don't want to get to it. What I want to get to is this PvP changes. Because Luke Smith in his diary number 3, I'm just gonna call them diaries for now, because that's what I labeled the last podcast. But letter number 3, PvP stuff changing, and it's so funny that we had, we talked about it last episode, the day before someone asked the question. If you're in chat, you can tell me. I can't remember who it was, but they were like, "Hey, there's, we got PvP stuff. What would you rather have? 3v3 or 4v4? What do you feel like worked better?" And we kind of discussed that here. And Hove was of the mindset he didn't really care as much. 4v4 was fine. Remember, you were against the 3v3 thing.
I was definitely not against 3v3. I just said that we can't fully base a future 4v4 on the 4v4 that we've already had for trials in the past, because everything about Destiny PvP was bad at that time. Don't put words in my mouth.
If we get actual elimination, which we will in the Crucible Labs, I would like that to remain 3v3, because it would just feel weird with a 4v4.
And that's what it is. And so the changes that he announced were, number one, we're getting 3v3 elim in Crucible Labs, and there's 4 different iterations of it. Like, there's 4 different kinds of elims, and they're kind of playing with which one.
Most of it revolved around revive tokens, though, right?
I'd assume so. We don't know for sure what the changes are.
We don't know what they are, but I think they said in there, like, a lot of the changes revolve around, like, revive tokens.
Okay, and then on top of the Crucible Labs stuff, we also got confirmation. Basically, he just kind of reiterated, like, we want to go back to the way people will play sixes, whether a raid or Crucible, and then they could split their teams and go 3 and 3, or come together and play sixes if there's 2 teams of 3. And so they're gonna make comp be 3s now, and so you've got competitive is going to be a 3v3 survival only. They took out countdown. No more countdown. Just 3v3 survival. And there's a lone wolf survival you can do if you don't have a team. And both go towards your glory, which are awesome. There's been a lot of debate around, like, solo players and comp. So this kind of gives you a way into that without facing 4 stacks, because now it's going to be 3 stacks, and you won't even have that because you can go in solo.
I will say because it's something that I think it got overshadowed quickly because Destiny 2 had a lot of problems early on, but I remember us talking about one of our problems with 4s was the lack of, like, symmetry with the rest of the game, and he specifically mentioned that Destiny 1 revolved around, like, multiplicative teams, like teams of 3, teams of 6. You could break up into even teams. You could come together, and 4s just threw that whole damn thing off. Somebody was left out, or you were looking for 2, and everybody was in teams of 3. And like I said, I remember us talking about that, but it was just so small compared to all the other issues.
Yeah,
that it kind of fell off. But I mean, that's a big thing in keeping a community together, for sure, right, man? Like 3 and 6. 3 plus 3 is 6.
I don't believe you.
All right.
Lies.
Yeah, I totally agree, Hove, and I think it's like one of those smaller issues that becomes a big deal the way it plays out in communities, like you said. And then not only that, but if you liked the 4s, because there are people out there that just feel like 4 is the place to be, and even in D1 we had 4v4 scrims. That was the way it went. You are going to have 4v4 in the rotating playlist. Like, I can't remember what's all in there.
There's going to be a rotating 4 and a rotating 6.
Yeah, so like Showdown and stuff like that is still 4s. So you can go play there, get sweaty if you. I imagine that's going to be a sweaty playlist.
And that's also, I do want to kind of just jumping back quickly. I do want to say that kind of does go to my point of I'd like to see what 4s look like later, because 4s in D1 were good. We liked 4s. We had a whole big episode about how D2 needs to go to 4s, like, and why 4s were so good. We definitely did, 100%.
Was I on that side? I can't see myself being on that side.
Yeah, well, you didn't know. Didn't know what a penis looked like either 10 minutes ago.
I'm excited.
Just kidding.
Now you know what monks look like
from the community too.
I just really want to see more people doing helps, and I think that's a little bit easier to achieve in groups of 3. Versus 4, like 4, It doesn't sound like it's that big of a deal adding 1 extra person, but like I think another thing too that will fix will maybe help, like, alleviate some of the problems that people have with map size, even with 4s and like a competitive scene. Like, I still feel like some of the maps, even with 4v4, are even still a little too small, and it's like really easy to trap people in spawns and stuff like that. So with 3 people, that's going to be like slightly more difficult.
Well, speaking of map size, that's the other announcement with the Crucible Labs. They're bringing back 2 D1 maps, Widow's Court and Twilight Gap, right?
Yes.
And so, yeah, dude, our bangers from Twilight Gap are lightning nades.
Dude, those are total bangers.
They are, but did you hear who just said it?
Yeah.
No, our lightning nades, man. We just like 2 bangers right there on the wall.
Hell yeah.
Me and Wilson.
That was so weird hearing you say that.
Right?
We were trying to be brothers.
Yeah, but dude, I'm pumped for those maps coming back, and I feel like we'll get to feel what the difference in the 3v3 feels like. Because I was a big proponent last episode. Even we were talking about how more hero moments happen when there's less people because you have more of a chance. So I'm super excited to try all that stuff out. I think all of this to me sounds good. When I first read the Lone Wolf Glory playlist, I was thinking in my head a Rumble Glory playlist, and I was all about that, and that wasn't what it was, so I got my hopes up a little bit. But it's still cool. Like, still glad that they're doing that for solo players. And I'm excited to just try out mainly Crucible Labs. Like, that is by far what I'm most excited about.
So is Countdown just gone from the game now?
It's just gone right now. Yeah.
Okay.
Unless they add it to the rotating 4v4 playlist, but I didn't see that.
Oh, and another thing we didn't mention, because we kind of jumped straight into comp, there's going to be a separate Control playlist that you can just play Control.
Yes.
Even though Control is in the classic mix, it's called, which is Control, Clash, and I don't know what else. But
well, he hit a lot of different issues there that I think the community had problems with, and I think they did it in an excellent way where they kind of please all parties. And so with specifically with connection-based and skill-based matchmaking, he kind of addressed all those things with the different playlists. And so in the control-only playlist, it's still going to be skill-based, I think, or slightly skill-based at least, I think. But the connection-only playlist is going to be the rotating, like, they're getting rid of quick play, but it's going to be this rotating quick play style 6v6 playlist that is only connection based. And so it's like if you want to go just hang out, you go play that.
You're talking the classic mix.
The classic mix. That's what they called it. Classic. That's the connection based only. But the main playlist that they're going to be promoting for all players at the very top is going to be this control playlist. And it's going to be like SBMM is going to be in there. So that way new players, when they say like go play this, it'll be more even. And on top of that, they're even giving like shelter to brand new players and putting them in their own like handicap playlist for a little while, so they're not just exposed to
and they didn't they didn't explain how you look like such a stoner. They didn't explain
it's smart food popcorn. It's good.
They didn't explain
Lit, fam.
Oh god. They didn't explain how they were going to do it, but they said to kind of, they know that getting stomped all the time isn't fun and being sweaty all the time isn't fun. So they were going to make the playlist so that there would be a good mix of close games and blowouts. I don't know how they're going to do that.
That's a perfect,
blowouts. Sorry.
That's a really great, like, in between, you know, like you don't have the super sweaty game. Like if they can achieve that, if it works, it's going to be a fantastic middle ground. Like it's not this super strict SBMM. But you will get matched based off your glory still in competitive. I'm really, I say I'm excited for Crucible Labs, but I'm really excited for all the playlists. Like they all sound great. Other than my one thing that God, why don't they just get rid of it is, and you can like burn me in chat in the comments, Twitter, whatever. But what is it? The mode where you have to collect the things after you kill someone.
Supremacy.
Why?
Boo.
Like, yeah, I want to go into Classic and just play Control or Clash. Like, those are the iconic Destiny Classic. Supremacy is not Classic.
I would think that the thought process there is for all of Destiny 1,
D1,
we asked for objective game modes. And I know that's like a very light objective, but they took out like the objective game modes again. So
no, we agree that when it comes to that type of shit in the Destiny universe, that maybe less is more, and maybe we don't want objective-based combat
Put it in the 4v4. The 4v4 playlist is filled with objective base. Just put it in there.
It's fine, but it needs to be really, really light. And it can't, like, dictate the flow of the battle in a completely different direction within a second, like, countdown. I'm like, holy shit, man. Like, we're getting some good momentum. We got him on the run. We even got one guy down. Oh, shit. Some clown on the opposite side of the map, some random blueberry just planted the bomb. Now we have to stop what the fuck we're doing and go all the way over there and defend it, or stop what we're doing and go all the way over there and defuse it. I don't like it when they just change the flow instantly. Like, at least with Supremacy, like, it's kind of light in the mechanics for
that's what I said. It's like a very light objective, but it's an objective.
I mean,
totally.
To me, like I was saying in chat just now, but it feels like it feels more sweaty to me because it forces you into a particular play style. You can't just laid back like I'm just gonna run a sniper. You know, like if you run a sniper,
it kind of forces you to be a little bit more aggressive than normal because you do want to collect your kills.
I don't.
In order for
I don't
in order for you to. You don't actually have to. That's the thing. You can kill them, and then hopefully your teammates will rush in. But if you don't rush your teammates, then you're going to have to kind of pick up even more pace than what you would normally do it in a normal team deathmatch.
Pick up my shit, man.
Pick up a buddy system.
Drop it like it's hot.
Like, no, pick it up.
We always used to do a buddy system back in the day where somebody would follow, like, we'd have one aggressive player and, like, maybe, like, a mid to back player. And we'd always have, like, almost like a designated engram picker-upper, you know what I mean? Or, you just got to kind of, like, communicate with your team. You get that flow. If you're watching a lane and you see them move up and grab some engrams off the ground and start to turn the corner, like, move up with them, like.
Well,
I mean, that would be like a prime situation if you can coexist with your fellow blueberries or teammates.
Exactly.
But not all the time. Like, you're going to have maybe a group of, like, say if you jump in by yourself and you're going to get a group of blueberries that aren't doing anything but sitting back and not collecting. Then you're going to have to be the one, even though you want to do the same thing as them. But it's like, do you just want to slay or do you want to win?
So Gorniak had a really good thought in chat that they're not going to do. It would be Supremacy isn't a big enough mode for them. But he said it can be like Gambit Prime, Slayers, and Collectors. What if they had like?
And then he said, "I know y'all love Gambit."
I know, but listen, what if? And I'm not saying they should do this or whatever, but it'd be a neat idea. If there were, like, armor sets you could collect that did similar things, like maybe if you're within 20 meters of a crest, you get a bump in, whether it's, like, turning radius, speed, mobility, whatever.
If you're wearing set and if you have certain...
That would all be cool. It's just, all of that just goes back to my point that none of that feels like a laid-back whatever playlist. Like, that all feels like it should be in the 4v4 playlist to me.
Yeah,
I have a solution to Lego's problem.
Get good.
Just bring back shoot to loot and let it count for those enemies.
Wilson, that was the perfect. Maybe that's one of the armor sets. If you're wearing the whole armor set, you can shoot a crest. If you're wearing a whole different armor set, you have a speed boost when you're within so much, and that way it'll let you play these different playstyles. Boom.
I actually think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is pretty cool.
I don't think it should be in the classic playlist.
That was also the perfect time, Wilson. You completely missed the chance when you said, "You know what you should really do, Lego? Y'all go on Git." That's what I should have said.
Y'all go and get them engrams, all right?
That's what you tell your blueberries, man. Now you can do it on PC. We can actually type down in chat. Tell them to go on Git.
Listen.
Yeah, that's it. Y'all go and get.
Wait, did I say?
Your blueberries are like, WTF, mate? And you're like, you heard.
I don't know.
Red meat.
I think that's actually a good idea. Maybe one armor set lets you shoot the like maybe. Okay, how about this even? If you're wearing one piece, it's within 5 meters. 2 pieces, 10 meters. 3 pieces, whatever. So that, like, if you have a full armor set, you can have, like, a sniper and sit in the back and shoot crests. And then the other one gives you a speed boost when you're near a crest. Another one gives you, I don't know, extra resistance or something, so that, like, maybe you can, like, body block and not get killed. I don't know. It'd be cool, man. You could do it.
It's a cool idea. I think that would be cool to see something like that in Crucible Labs for sure. Like to see
and maybe
they
you
will
drop
like,
a crest. What if you drop a crest and it's like martyrdom? It's a false crest. Like you drop two and you don't know which one's the real one. Kind of like the
one of them
false
the bomb,
exotic,
like the trickster.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Dude, this is a cool game type. I like this.
Or you could pick one up and
pitch it,
throw it at the other
pitch
team.
It.
You could like gamble it, like maybe after you pick up 5,
double down,
or 7 without dying, you can like pick one up and throw it like you do the ones with the tricksters, and then.
Or what if that's just a normal ability? You can actually pick up the engram. But see, you can normally just walk over it 1 point or whatever, however many points. You pick it up, you have to throw it to your teammate, double points, or something.
I'm trying to think of how you could turn a normally hated game into just something that's just completely silly that for once, nobody would take seriously and just.
Dude, I would love that. We need. And True Vanguard's talking about this all the time about how we need like a party bag playlist, you know, like where it's just ridiculous stuff. I would love that.
I believe even Bungie referred to it as a beer and pizza playlist, or
they did.
Like a beer.
We need an engram launcher where you actually kill guardians with engram. That would be hilarious.
It'd be fun as hell, dude, because like the animation and the mechanic is in the game, like on the PvE side. I'm not saying like, oh, just copy and paste that shit over to PvP. I know it's tougher than that, but it would just be fun if like maybe with like a certain season or a holiday or something, we just get something that's just completely silly that has no difference between winning or losing. Like there's no valor attached to it or whatever, but like there's maybe fun like event rewards tied to it, and you know, snowball fights, engram fights, whatever, like
sword fights, you know, just pure melee battle or something.
The Scourge Cannon thing was super dope. Like if they could tweak those,
And believe it or not, I took that way too seriously, and I went to win every single one of them. I was very competitive in that for some reason. I was when it was a blast.
Yeah, man.
Well, does anybody have anything else with the whole playlist changes or the matchmaking, one or the other? Or I guess, you know, one last thing I'll say is they did hint. You could take it as a hint. Some people were like, this just means, you know, their trials is no time soon. But they did hint. He said, you know, we put Trials of the 9 on indefinite hiatus, and only of the 9 was italicized or something like that, not Trials. And so it was like this hint that, you know, Trials would be returning in some form, maybe Osiris.
I didn't read it like
Glimmer. No, I don't think it was. I don't think it was meant to be blatantly read like that. You know what I mean? Like if that's what you're getting at.
I mean,
I don't remember what I thought, but I remember that vaguely, and I didn't take it like that.
I didn't either at first, but the way that... Hold on, I'm going to bring it up just so that I'm sure and I'm not messing anything up. Now I can't find it.
Oh, you're right. It's Trials and then italicize of the 9.
Yeah,
whereas
so
you would assume the whole thing would be italicized or whatever.
That's a pretty big... I mean, and we all have assumed this for a long time, that they're going to be bring Trials back in some form. My fear was that, I'll tell you, this is what's reassuring to me in all the things. Because I know they're going to bring some sort of game type back that is, you know, something. And what's reassuring about this is both the comments that we had a good thing, we tried to change it up, it didn't work, we didn't realize how basically gold it was. I'm putting words in their mouth, but like that's basically what the last paragraph was, is like, hey, we tried to change it up, it didn't work. We didn't realize how beloved this thing was in its current state.
Didn't realize that they caught lightning in a bottle. You know what I mean? Like,
that was the phrase. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that I like, because that means they want to do something like that again. And then 2, I like that those words, Trials, were not italicized, but the rest of the phrase was, because my fear was they were just going to try to create something entirely new. You know, that, and which would be very Bungie of them to do, and they could still create a different thing like Gambit, you know, that was entirely new and could capture people's attention the way that Trials did. But the fact that these words were said about OG Trials, and the fact that, you know, Trials is not italicized, this all indicates to me that they want to do specifically a version of Trials again, which is really exciting, because I was afraid maybe they would put Trials on, you know, hiatus indefinitely, like they said, and focus on something new.
Well, you can clearly tell that, like, with them adding elimination into the Crucible Labs and them deliberately and like directly reaching out to the community saying like, we're really going to need your feedback on this. Like, it's not perfect. We hope, and that's honestly, like, there's a lot of really good people in the community who are going to come up with some incredible feedback that's going to help make that game mode even that much better. But I think the fact that they're putting that out there, asking for feedback, means that they want elimination to find a home. But like, we got to help, we got to do our part.
Save
which is
the
exciting.
Hell yeah, man.
Well, and Wilson, that's so cool that you bring that up, because that is, like, I didn't think much about 3v3 Elim being in Crucible Labs. I was kind of like, dang it, really? Like, you want it back in Trials, but they're putting it there so that we can give that feedback, like you're saying. And so that is really cool. This is, to me, it just more and more every week. I say it almost every week, but the Bungie that we have now versus the Bungie under Activision feels so different and such a breath of fresh air. And it's all like the PvP stuff, the cross save this week. It's just one thing after the other. I'm super
They're
excited.
killing it, dude. They're really killing it. And like, there was something else that was announced in the TWAB today that we'll get to, that I thought was a fantastic idea and correlates with another game that I play all the time, almost to a T. I'll mention it when we get there. But it's gonna be great. Like, I'm also really excited this is the first time that Crucible Labs is being used for what we thought it was originally intended to be used for. Hey, we're working on something. This is what we got. Take it, test it, taste it, you know, get in there, give us some feedback, and hopefully we'll tweak it based upon your feedback and see how that goes. And all the other shit that we got in Crucible Labs, while some of it was fun, I don't think really any of it found its way into the game. Do you guys? You know what I mean? Like, this is something that they clearly want to find a home, and that they need feedback on, and that's kind of what we thought Crucible Labs was going to be from the beginning. So again, it's just to your point, Lego, of it being a different Bungie.
Can we get Trials of Anna Bay?
Yes, please.
For real. Okay, real quick, just a quick poll. This is my own community question. What if you could have Trials of blank? What character, what, you know, faction would you want to do Trials in Destiny? Has to be a Destiny character.
I would say Trials of the Drifter, but people would just automatically assume like Gambit and be like, whoa.
Yeah.
Tess Everest.
Just kidding. I feel like, so part of me wanted Drifter at first, like you were saying, Wilson. I think that would be cool. But then part of me would think that, man, this is tough.
Trials of the Dredging.
Well, think about how excited Drifter gets whenever you, like, he is like screaming, you know, and like, you killed the whole squad. Like, you know, he gets so into it. Really that would be awesome in Trials to have those voiceovers, but it would also, Shaxx also gets really worked.
I was about to say, how about
Shaxx gets a little bit excited. Yeah,
Shaxx does too, but like, you could like work it in with the Drifter. You know how you had like the boon for if you lost a game, the Drifter could be like, nah, man, I'm gonna sneak you back in there. Like, you didn't lose that game, and like, you know, like it just like kind of correlate with some of the boons. Like, oh, I'm gonna mark you down for a win already. Like, just the Drifter's like sneaky mentality. I love that fucking character. I wish he got stuck with a better game mode.
But Gorgnak just put down something that has a nice ring to it. Trials of the Ascendants. That kind of sounds hot.
Trials of the, so Azrael Speaks brings up my two ones that I was gonna throw in there that I actually think could, like, this could legit be what it could be. Is both, he put Trials of the Queen or tying in Uldren with it somehow, like Trials of the Throne or something like that had to do with the Queen. I feel like would be really cool, because there's something with Osiris in D1 that you couldn't replicate in D2, and that is the mystery of Osiris, because now we know too much. Brother Vance is a joke. Like, I don't feel like that would work. but the mystery of going to the lighthouse, and you were like, oh, this place down below, like there was that to it. And we had that with the 9 kind of at first, but just the game mode didn't stick and everything. So it was a good, I think going with the 9 was good for that. It's just, it didn't work gameplay wise. So they have to start over. So for me, either the Queen, because there's still so much mystery, like that would be amazing. Everybody loves the Queen. Or secondly is, who's the one who dabbles in all the like dark stuff with bad juju? Toland, yeah. Toland or the Queen.
That would
I
be
feel
the
like could have some
Ascendant
sort of
one.
trials. Yeah, the Ascendant. That would make sense.
How about just Trials of the Traveler, and you get to go like finally like dabble with the Traveler and stuff.
Dabble with the
man,
Traveler.
That's a lot of incentive to play Trials if that is the
kind of off topic, but you know, someone brought up Aldrin. It just made me think, what was his? What did they call his ghost?
The Crow. Pork.
Pulled pork.
Oh,
is that it? Pulled pork.
Pulled pork.
I kept wanting to say beefsteak, and I was like, that's not right.
I mean, it's on the right line.
Guys, we have a serious dilemma here. Serious dilemma. Okay, Sam came in with a dry erase board because she didn't want to talk with us recording, and it says yogurt or cinnamon toast. We need
Cinnamon
to solve
toast.
this dilemma now.
Both?
Cinnamon toast.
Yeah, is that an option?
period.
Are we talking like yogurt, like parfait? Ooh.
What kind? Yeah, what flavor? Yeah, both. Wait, no. The correct answer is
parfait.
both. No matter what.
Thanks, baby. I love you.
You're welcome. I love you too.
Bierman in chat said Trials of Ikora would be cool. Ikora was another character I was thinking. I feel like you could do tower people because of there's no mystery.
Also,
Ikora
listen,
needs some love in the tower.
I still hate Ikora because she had laser nipples and we didn't.
Also, maybe this is just me, but like
I miss that.
aesthetics and like names really like. The idea of Ikora having Trials would be really cool, but like Trials of Ikora just doesn't have like Trials of Osiris sound like the syllables aren't right. Trials of the 9. What about Trials of the Hidden? Her hidden.
That's cool. No, dude.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's good.
Hey.
Mm-hmm.
Hey.
Lit,
Those are my
man.
2 favorites so far: Trials of the Hidden and Trials of the Throne. Those are my go-to right now.
Yeah,
You're
I have
welcome.
high hopes for it coming back, but it's.
I have
be a
high
while.
hopes for a living.
It could be a while.
High hopes for a living.
High hopes. I just want to be the Apex Predator again in Trials. Right now, I can only do that in Apex Legends, so I'm ready.
Yeah, but you're bad at that.
Oh, hey, I didn't mention that during my week, but I tried out the
you're
solo
bad at
event
that?
finally
Oh.
right before it's ending, but that was a lot of
I'm
fun
sorry.
in Apex.
Oh,
Just
was it? I
saying.
forgot all about it.
I know everyone's complaining about it because of the loot boxes and stuff, but I just went to go play, the game because that's what games are for.
I haven't played that in a quick
Not
minute,
just
actually.
loot boxes. The
Yeah, it's not just
solo
loot
event,
boxes.
awesome idea. Like really cool idea. Like I don't even play that game, but like it was enticing at first. Like the idea of solo play is really cool. Like you shoot someone, like they're dead. You no longer have to worry about that person. That's a completely different style of
Unless
play.
they have a
yeah.
gold
Ticket?
helmet.
Shield.
Shield.
The shield. Yeah, gold shield.
No, shield's
No.
a down shield. No.
Yeah,
And you can revive yourself
Vest.
with it.
yeah,
Vest.
the revive, the shield,
Oh,
the
yeah,
revive shield.
That's
Oh,
true,
yeah.
You
I
can
was thinking
revive
chest
yourself,
shield
totally.
thing.
No.
We need
We
to change
talked about
subject
one of
because I'm gonna
those.
get really fucking toxic on that event. So let's just move on.
Hold on, wait, here's one thing. I don't know if you guys knew this. You know the new Call of Duty and all that?
Uh-huh.
They finally like upped their everything pretty much. They're not
They
running
up
on the
their
same.
everything.
Well,
Fitting to up my
I'm losing words
everything
and all that, but
You
it's
talking
actually
Modern Warfare?
yeah, the next Modern Warfare. It's actually you can play it. It's a open alpha this weekend, by the way. This is just
right.
completely random. I just thought of this, but it's a 2v2 game mode, and there's like 5 maps or whatever, and I think it's exclusive on PS4 for some reason.
Oh, weird.
Where yeah, you can download it, and it's just 2v2 from I think tomorrow to Sunday. I want to say. So I'm just saying, might as well try it out. You know?
Yeah, I might try it out Sunday. Yeah, that sounds
I'm
cool.
probably not going to do that.
Okay.
Hey, let's
you want to play it
talk,
tomorrow?
Yeah, if you want.
Let's talk the Gamescom stuff because we got the 2 trailers, Season of Undying and the Shadowkeep trailer. We got all the awesome Twitter redubs of the Shadowkeep trailer to all these different music songs, like the DuckTales one, which was my favorite remix. But there's a
Anything
ton
DuckTales is great.
It is great. But the main thing, I guess there's 2 big things. one is Season of the Undying. We got to see the Vex theme. We got to see that cinematic that we actually got leaked like
2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Yeah, it was 2017.
Wait, really?
Yes. So we got to see it cleaned up. Everybody thought that was gonna be something for. I actually thought when I saw the footage, I thought it was like this is OGD1 like raid stuff that they never released because it just never like this was like the pitch they made to make Destiny. That's what I thought when I first saw it, and then they were like, and now it's like, no, this is like a DLC thing now, and so this is for Season of the Undying, which is really cool to get a cinematic trailer for a season. Like this is the free thing, right? So, or you have to buy seasons. I don't know. I'm not fully caught up on what you need to buy and don't buy because now I'm thinking about the annual pass stuff. And
did you say the what pass?
The what pass? Yeah, that was a little
the annual.
Oh, you said. I think you said annual.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how you said it.
Yeah.
No.
So you kind of it was kind of like
heard that.
Yeah, it was kind of like annual anal, like anal once a year.
Wow. No.
Welcome back, Wilson. I hope your yogurt's good.
Only once. Once a year.
But yeah. So, do y'all have any thoughts about the trailers? I thought it was cool to see the Vex one. I thought it looked awesome, and I thought the Shadowkeep one looked great too. It makes me excited for.
You got to see how Vex Milk entered their machinery. So
how a Vex was born.
Somebody
Vex Milk makes
didn't
Vex
pull
strong.
Somebody didn't pull out.
Listen, coolest
right all up in there. It went all right up in there.
Coolest part about the whole
gears
thing is that there's some Vex that have laid dormant and they got like moss and stuff growing off them, like plants. And then I saw a picture of like a giant minotaur, like the big boss ones that you fight, and it has a giant tree growing on its back.
Well, we've seen dormant Vex covered in like moss before.
We have with moss, but not a fucking full.
No.
Tree.
Yeah. No, I agree.
I was about to say in D1, weren't the
looks like Torterra
and the
Pokemon.
Not the raid. What it was the Black Garden, original Black Garden. They were all covered with moss and stuff.
Which is
I'm pretty sure in the raid when you go to the Vault of Glass, when you teleport to
the past,
was it the past
or whatever you call
one of them? I'm pretty sure they were all mossy and stuff too. So
no, it fits too because that's the new raid is in the Black Garden, so it makes sense we would see them. And then also on top of that, if you're looking for the screenshots Wilson's talking about, it's in the press kit for the new season. If you look at, I don't know if Deej or Bungie, somebody tweeted it out, one of the community managers, but you can click on their Dropbox folder and it just has all these images, like promo images, and there's that Vex, the Minotaur image of like the tree coming out, and there's also like you can see not goblins but one of the other Vex creatures, and they've got little spiky things coming out. It looks different than the moss ones, but it looks really cool, so I'm excited.
Anytime someone says the word goblin, do you want to know what I think of?
You're gobbling something.
No.
Have
you ever seen? It was one of those things that was like I saw it in like a gallery of like.
That was super dirty Lego.
Just like food, just gobbling food.
It was one of those like things of like bad Tinder conversations, and it's a dude who just like randomly goes like, "I have really long arms and legs, and sometimes when I run, I look like a goblin." And the girl's like, "What?" I don't know, that's what makes me think of every time. You're welcome.
I expected what Lego said to come from you, Hove, and not this random story.
You guys think I'm like the dirty, immature one. I'm just.
You're a goblin.
You're a goblin. Wilson's over there gobbling that yogurt.
He is. Yeah, we can't see him, but we know that's what he's doing.
It was really good.
Well, if you got the yogurt, can I have the cinnamon toast?
Sure, man.
Bring it out.
So in those promo images also is the new armor for Vex stuff with it, and it looks so good that everybody was saying it looks like new raid armor. But I think it's the Season of the Undying, not the raid armor, but like, well, I guess it could be because Black Garden. But I was under the impression that it was whatever the new event was that was going to be for that season. But it looks awesome. The Titan gear in particular has like these Vex wings coming out of it, and it looks incredible. That's like some of my favorite gear I've ever seen on a Titan. I think it looks awesome.
The hunter gear looked interesting because you have like a scarf and then your cape goes down from your neck down. You don't have like a hood up in it. So
right.
Yeah,
no
it
cape.
Looks really different. Yeah,
you can see your butt
like,
again.
there's a cape. I'm pretty sure there's a cape. Like you can kind of see it. It's attached to the scarf, so I think it's more of like a hood down. That'd be cool though. Honestly, like a hood up, hood down option for hunters would be really great. Like I don't know how you'd have to give everybody else some sort of option though too, and I don't know how.
Like butt cape or no butt cape for the Titan.
Butt cape or loincloth.
Yeah, no, that's really. I base what Titan mark I have based off of whether. That sounds so bad because now I'm saying it and I'm like, wait, it's based off of whether like I can see my crotch or not, like that. But that's not the reason. I want it to the side. I don't want it in front, which I'm saying I don't want anything covered. But that's the truth. Sorry,
all right,
that's what it is.
Lego's Titan likes to show off the bulge. Confirmed.
I don't like. It looks like just a.
You're not even getting a full sentence out.
Butt cape.
You're really defensive right now. Like you're really defensive.
Well,
I'm
gonna take
the truth about myself.
He just wants to show the bulge, okay? Like Superman's bulge. Remember when they revealed for Superman's, for the movie when he first came out, his bulge was just like, whoa, hey, what? You know?
Whoa, what you packing there?
Or that time that never mind. That was a bad
back
one.
in his Super Hulk.
So quickly to take some pressure off you, Lego. It was
Daddy Hulk.
It's a text. It's a text message with a girl named Megan, and she says, "How tall are you?" And he says, 6'8". And she says, "Wow, you're pretty tall." He goes, "Yeah, some girls like it, but it sucks because I have really long legs and arms and big feet, but tiny hands. So when I run, I look like a goblin sometimes." And then there's some time passed, and he goes, "You there?" There's no answer. All right, I'm done.
Oh, that's good.
I'm done.
I like it. Okay, there is some other stuff we got with the trailer. Not the trailer, but like Gamescom had a bunch of interviews with Bungie where they talked about how the artifact's gonna work. So we got a little more info on that, and we got pictures of the moon map, like the actual map of it. And some people on Reddit, you can go on there and look at the full like space that you're gonna be able to see in your map in Destiny in game. And it looks pretty big. It looks pretty cool. Excited to go back to the moon again. But I am also intrigued by the way the artifact works. You basically have unlimited power because once you get to... So last week we talked about through Luke Smith's letters, you get up... Or maybe it was the armor trailer. I can't remember how we learned this info. But you can get up to 950, using pretty much any means. But then 950 to 960 is only pinnacle activities like the raid. But the artifact... you can level it up with XP and get this other kind of light level that will let you essentially go past that.
It's
and
like
they confirmed on Gamescom, it's uncapped. You can go as high light level as you want. You just have to play enough to get there.
Now, do you think they're going to make it take a shit ton of XP?
Oh, yeah. Because
people like right now immediately are like, I'm going to be 1500 light. No, it's probably... No. I bet you it also... Do you remember that time that they changed things where it was like increasing XP for each level and everyone flipped the fuck out?
Yeah. You think they'll do something like that?
For it to be an extra gain over everybody else? Absolutely. Why wouldn't you? Make each level after... each extra light level, make it take more XP each time.
Yes.
100%.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Just like, any other game you love, like you're playing PUBG, every once you level up, I think it worked that way. I can't remember now.
But you can't just have a bunch of cock goblins running around at 1200 power.
Yeah.
It's true, man. No one cock goblin should have all that power. I'm just saying.
For real though, I think it is going to take a lot, but I think it's really cool that no matter what you do, you're going to be leveling up. You don't feel like it's a waste. Whatever thing you're doing, you're leveling up your XP, so maybe you can get up to that 960, the most powerful you can be. I know you can go over that, but I don't know how much it will matter.
Don't tell me how powerful I can be, Lego. I can be as powerful as I want.
You can.
I know.
Shadowkeep.
I'm a grown-ass man. You're not my boss.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Your artifact will let you do that.
I'm currently getting yelled at for saying cock goblin on stream. It's not. It's not my word. I can't take credit for the term cock goblin. I'm sorry.
there isn't anything else about the artifact I don't think that I wanted to cover. I think
I heard a
just the
specific
progression-
word down the hall outside my door. Did someone say cock goblin?
Yeah, a few times.
Nice.
I heard it outside my room when I was coming back.
That's because all
like-
that's because all cock goblins can hear when they're being talked about.
It's true. And you came running, didn't you?
You came running.
You're like, shit, I need to be there. We just about made, for our audio listeners, we just about made Mana spray soda all over from laughing.
Almost. This was the first sip from the can too, and I almost wasted it.
Oh man.
Okay.
So I had to point that out.
Continue. Sorry.
I don't think I have anything else. Do y'all have any other thoughts about the? Okay, I got one thought. Because I was thinking about that grind from 950 to 960 because we didn't know that specific number, you know, and now we know that number. Even though you can go past it, that's like the in between doing your normal stuff and doing the pinnacle stuff. And before in D1, they want to make it more like that, where you got that Forever 29 kind of thing going on, where it's more of a grind to get that gear. So do you think that 950 to 960 is going to be like really difficult? Because that's what it sounds like they're going to do, and I hope that they do. Because then it takes a long time if you go XP, but you can do it faster, but it still is like difficult to get 950 to 960 doing pinnacle stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, hopefully it's a little slower. Like, hopefully it's not like you do your first raid and then all of a sudden you're like 1 or 2 light level away from being max, and you just got to do like one more and get the right drops.
Exactly.
Hopefully it takes a couple, maybe 3 raids or something. 3 raids and good RNG.
So this isn't. I don't really know if this is worth. I don't know. Everyone was bitching about Forever 29. You know, like that was a bad thing. I know at least 3 girls that have turned 29 like 10 times. They always want to be Forever 29. I don't understand why it's a bad thing.
That's kind of my point. They kind of like it. Like in D1, people actually did like it, I think. Like, they didn't know. It was frustrating at the time, but that is the grind that we look forward to in Destiny.
It keeps people coming back, man.
Yeah.
Like Fatebringer, dude. Like, that gun.
Exactly.
I was I'm pretty sure I was the last one in Tower Life to get Fatebringer, and I had 5 other people with me 3 times a week running Vault of Glass. You know, it was a group event. Like, oh my god, we gotta get him this gun so he'll just shut up. Like, you know, so it's cool, man. It keeps people coming back, and like your friends like care enough, like when they know that you really want something. Like, dude, if I know a friend wants something out of a certain activity, dude, I'll grind the shit out of the activity with them. Like,
what was the sniper from the Prometheus from the same rate from
Praetor's Revenge?
Praetor's Revenge. I just know I got that before Hovey, and he really wanted that sniper, and I was using it every chance I get when I played with him. He loved me for it. Not really. Nice. He hated me, but you know.
Flexing with the
oh yeah. I got it my first time, but at the same time, he also flexed me like his first time, and I was really sad about it.
I got the sniper on my first run too, man, but that freaking. I got the Mythic class to drop like 2 or 3 times before I got Fatebringer to drop, dude. It was a good day.
Was it before it got nerfed? Were you able to witness?
Wait, what got nerfed?
I'm pretty sure I had it right before it got nerfed, but like,
I got it right after it got nerfed, and I was super sad about it.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't do much Crucible the first
3 years.
No, I'd say House of Wolves is really when I sat down and started watching like Hovey and Mana and being like, okay, I want to get better at this game. Like, I
never watched them. I watched good players only.
I found Hovey forced me at gunpoint to stay up until like 6 a.m. with him and to play skirmish.
Yeah.
Hovey forced me at gunpoint to stay up until 6 a.m. and play Cock Goblin.
I actually Jesus Christ, so I actually found out
you like this.
I actually found out about Rezo through the old Planet Destiny guys who are now DCP when they had Hovey on. Yeah, and I was like, oh wait, I was like, people play this game and stream it, like people who are actually like really good at it, stream it, and
oh, that's funny.
Yeah, man, full circle, dude.
That is.
Yeah.
There was one more. I want to move on to the TWAB because there's a few things there, and then go to community questions. But before that, there was one last thing that's pretty big for PvE stuff. I know we focused a lot on PvP during that, and there was something Luke Smith mentioned in his third letter. I think it was the third one, and they talked about it potentially at Gamescom. I can't remember, but the stacking buffs in PvE. We didn't really cover that, but basically confirmed that things aren't going to stack. Like, we become too powerful over this journey, you know, and right now you can stack so many things and punch Riven to death if you want to. But, you know, if you're really good at stacking things and you're just a good player. But the point is that he said that things aren't going to stack the way that they do now. Basically, your most powerful damaging thing will take priority and things won't stack like they used to.
Well, it's going to be one buff and one D. You can't stack more than one buff, and you can't stack more than one debuff.
Exactly.
But that's
one
per
buff
character.
To rule them all.
Weapon buffs will still stack on top of, like, class buffs. Like, if you have, like, Kill Clip or something, that will still stack with Well of Radiance, which will stack with, like, a debuff to an enemy.
Okay.
You know what I mean? You
All
can't
right.
stack Well.
Yeah, I get it.
You can't stack the damage of Well with the damage of Weapons of Light.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah.
But you can still stack
but
a tether.
They
with...
did mention. Are you sure? Because I just want to clear it up real
pretty
quick.
sure
because
he was pretty.
Well, he mentioned Lumina specifically and said you can't stack the Lumina like on top of the well.
That's because
right?
the Lumina's not like a damage increase. It's buffing the player, like another player. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
So as far as that player who's getting buffed is concerned, he would be having 2 buffs on him as a player.
Okay.
Which
so basically if so say I'm using Recluse because that does a damage buff to a gun.
That is totally separate from any like Well of
separate.
Radiance or anything. Any weapons I don't think will be affected within themselves if it's just a weapon that gets buffed like by its own perk.
Gotcha.
Does that make sense?
I'm glad you explained it that way because I was a little confused and
that's how I took it anyway.
No, that makes sense and I think that's correct. I think to me when I first read it I was like, man, we needed to take away options. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I was just thinking in my head, you know, they really want to make it RPG like to where you can get really creative with your builds, but this seemed like a huge like thing you can't like get super scientific about it anymore, but you can, like you're saying, like if you use a specific weapon thing with a specific buff on your character with a specific debuff on the enemy, you could do some really cool stuff still.
Well, I also think one of the reasons they didn't cut out like the weapon ones like Recluse or whatever is because those aren't going to be nearly as accessible at any given time. It's not like you're going to damage a boss with Recluse. Like, or even, do you know what I mean? So, yeah, it'll be 1 buff, 1 debuff, like one buff per player, 1 debuff per enemy.
So could you technically still just use, because isn't one of the best melting strats right now is using the Raven's grenade launcher that's void with a tractor cannon that's debuffing an enemy standing in a rift or a Well of Radiance that's giving your player a buff. Like all those will stack, right?
I think so.
So
because you're debuffing the enemy and buffing yourself just once each.
Yeah, the only thing you can't do is if you had some sort of player-based like other buff. Like I think there's some. Don't warlocks have some buffing grenade thing they can do, or melee thing that buffs their weapons a little bit? I don't know. I
don't know how that'll work with
stuff.
Like inertia. Or what's that one?
Yeah, I'm sure you can't. Like that's my point. Is that is a player buff, and so you can't stack that onto Well of Radiance, which makes sense. I think that's good that they're setting the rules on it instead of just like, well, does this work? I don't know. Like now we know kind of the rules for what they're thinking. I
have like a Pavlov's dog thing going on now. Every time I see Mana go to take a drink, it makes me want to scream cock goblin and see if I can get him to spit it out. But
please don't, because it might have a big effect on me.
He's had enough liquid damage in the past.
Oh, hey Wilson, quickly, what's my full name?
Oh God,
what?
Sir Hovington the the first of it. Wait, Sir Hovington, first of his name, longest of dongest, mother of dragons.
Wow.
I can't remember the rest. I'm sorry,
Okay,
Sire.
that's all.
Can we do that? Can we do that for the
Sorry,
outro?
sire.
I'm so sorry, Sire. I don't know the rest.
Oh man. Okay, let's get through the rest of this TWAB so we can get to community questions. Mama Gator's gotta, get things in order to get to bed later. So.
I know I'm good tonight. I mean, I got work at a normal time tomorrow. I can stay up. Okay.
Oh.
Okay, you don't have to tend to anything. All right.
You're gonna stay out and play. Never mind. Go ahead.
Oh, absolutely not. I'm still going to sleep.
there is. I know. It's the same. I'm like, oh, so tired.
Okay, so Iron Banner's coming back next week from the TWAB. We're gonna have double Valor while that's going on, or they said increased Valor. I don't know if they specified.
I still have yet to play Iron Banner in D2. I just want to get.
I'm not. I guess you can get enhanced gear. It's quite the grind. The quest is so. At your own discretion, Mana. I think I might still go for some of the gear stuff. But that's it this week for that. So if you're still looking for something, still need some achievements, still need some enhanced gear, you can go grab it there. There's a community event, which is the big thing they announced, which is going to be on Mars. And it's basically we need hundreds of thousands of escalation protocol and a Mars strike, we need both Mars strikes to be completed hundreds of thousands of times by the community. They'll add them all up together. If you participated in one of the Nightfalls, you just have to complete one during the given time. You get an emblem that you can see in the TWAB right now, which looks pretty cool. And then also, if the community completes this event, this is a part that's kind of weird. I'm not sure how exactly the wording on this works. If one of y'all knows, you can kind of add it in. I think I got it, but I'm not sure. But basically, if the community completes this event, this number that they've set out for us, we get an extra menagerie reward every time we do it from our chalice. And every Friday that happens until the next season, we will have another extra reward. So in my mind, the way I read this, at first I was like, okay, specifically every Friday we get another reward, but I think it's like cumulative. Like you keep, like, so say we complete the event and then that next Friday they add another, so whenever you go to the chest you get 3 every time.
The next Friday you'll get 4, the next you'll get 5.
You think?
That would be cool.
That's how I read it.
The way it is. Listen, I'm fucking stoked about this because one, no, dude, this is so good. We've been talking about little events and little things that you could do to get something as small or meaningless to some people, but some people love things like emblems or shaders or, a ghost or a sparrow that you get through an event. It shows that you were there for that event. It's cool a year later to dig it out and bust it out and be like, yo, remember when we had to do all that shit on Mars? This is extremely on par with the way Pokemon Go has been doing a lot of their events. So they do Go Fest every year, and usually it's in Chicago. This time they had it all over the world. But anyway, you have to do these research tests. When you go spin a Pokestop, you get a quest, small one, catch 10 Pokemon, land however many curveballs in a row, this and that. But they will say so there's 3 different teams. If they're like, if red team completes 3 million tasks by the end of Go Fest, and blue team 3 million, yellow team 3 million, you get a bonus unlock. And this year's bonus unlock was like shiny Mewtwo, bunch of crazy shit, like more shiny Pokemon, like new Generation 5 and stuff. So, but this is like on par. Like, here's your challenge. You get something for participating. And if you come together as a community to complete these tasks, you get a bonus unlock. And dude, if they do this stuff like moving forward, like even if it's as small as like not getting a better menagerie, and keep in mind they're already gonna make menagerie better on top of this.
Menagerie.
And so it's gonna be getting better. And if we do these community tasks, it'll get even better than better. So I'm really excited about it. I think these events that get people out doing shit, like going to Mars, like knowing that like most of the people around you are working towards the same event is a really cool feeling. You see it in Pokemon Go when you're out and about and you run into other people and they're doing as many research tasks as they can. Oh, how many have you done today? Or, you know, it's cool. Do more of this shit, please. Like, even before this event goes off, I'm telling you right now, this is going to be really well received, and I hope to see more of it in the future.
So, I think it's cool. I don't think it's as cool maybe as you do, Wilson. Like, for me, I was kind of hoping it would be more like a Hunt the Wolves kind of thing, like we got before House of Wolves DLC. Like, that was like a community, like public event kind of thing. No doubt we will see tons of people on Mars, and that will be awesome to have one specific space filled up. I think
that wasn't like so much an event as it was a teaser. We turned that into an event when we found a cheese to it. This is them like... It's cool. You don't have to be super excited about it. This is an introductory thing, but like just keep in mind that like more shit to do in game, even if you're not like making it a point to go to Mars and do this stuff. Let's say you're just doing 3 strikes. These strikes may come up. You know, Nokris might come up or whatever else. Or if you're grinding it for that rocket launcher for your title or something, your Wayfarer title. It's just anything, like more of these. Like right now it's cool to just have one, but like maybe in the future, if these are received well enough, we can maybe have 2 or 3 of these overlapping at a single given time, even if it's for something as like simple as an emblem. And I know that they probably have like hard drives full of emblem designs and things. It's just implementing it into the game is the tricky part, you know what I mean? Like, so I don't know, I think it'd be cool, like little shit like that. Like I love where you can be working towards something and maybe not even realizing it. If you're gonna be like me, you're gonna go out there and you're gonna do a bunch of this shit, so we have a good chance of unlocking it, you know? Because it's a pretty big reward. If it's the way that we think it is, that's fucking huge. That's a reason to jump back.
I think it might be because it actually makes sense. Because I was like, really? So for like 4 days we get an extra drop? Because it's like the next season's gonna start right in like a month.
Exactly.
But if it's cumulative, then that actually makes sense.
Yeah, so the dates are September 3rd to September 10th is the date that like this event is taking on, and that's when you need to do your Nightfall Strike, all that stuff. And so if you meet the reward by the 10th, that's the 13th, 20th, and 27th until October 1st. And so that's, you already get 2 for once the 10th you complete, you know, the event. That's 2 rewards. That the 13th, that's 3, 20th, that's 4, the 27th, anytime after the 27th, if we complete this event, you'll get 5 drops from the menagerie every time you go in there. So that's like 1 weekend basically of 5, which is, that's what people were doing before, so that makes sense.
You don't have to run back and forth. It's even better. You don't have to do shit. You just got to open it once. It's even better. It's going to be awesome. And look, you don't have to get out there and devote an entire week to only doing this. These numbers ain't shit. That's like, if you just get out there and do 1 of each of these tasks, you have done your part, in my opinion.
Exactly.
There are enough active players. It's the same thing with, and these numbers will probably change in the future. Keep in mind, this is the first time they have to gauge it low. Like the first time Pokemon Go did this, it was something like each team has to do like 250,000 tasks in a week. And like this year, for the Japan one, teams had to do like 20 million tasks.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and we freaking crushed it within like the first 3 days. Like it's crazy, man. It's gonna be cool. Like the emblem is really dope. I think it's a really snazzy emblem. And I called it. Emblems are getting doper. Like straight up, we're gonna see like more cool emblems and stuff like this. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm a sucker for an emblem. Any sort of expression within the game, I'm all for it.
I'm a cock goblin for emblems.
That's what. Make it happen.
I'm a Daddy Hulk for emblems.
You kind of sound like the Hulk when you said that. I don't have anything else with the TWAB. Do y'all got anything y'all want to talk about the community questions?
Just get to the questions.
Let's do it. Hove.
What?
Do it.
Hit us.
Hit me, baby, one more time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you know Britney Spears songs? Do you know any Ricky Martin stuff?
Living the Vida Loca, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brother.
All right, Hulk. Hulk Hogan.
do, brother?
First question, Logan Bierman asks, when is LEGO going to Xbox and help with 2100 comp scores? After he gets a PC.
After I get Stadia or a PC.
Next question. Matt Grundy, why did Sony kill Spider-Man? You know, the more wait. The more articles that come out, the more and more
it's
people
actually
think that it's
Marvel
showman. Well, I was gonna say that it's either side still jockeying for position, and that it's not totally dead yet.
Yeah.
From what I've been reading, it's not actually Sony, but Marvel wants a bigger cut for
Well, yeah, of course they
movies.
do.
Of course.
Well, it's just like
it's the biggest selling movie Sony has
ever made.
So.
Not just Spider-Man, ever.
And Marvel made nothing from it.
I was about to say Marvel is in charge, from what I read, in charge of the merchandising, and only 5% of the cut from the.
Well, that's the thing. Marvel has I'm pretty sure Marvel still, for all their characters, they sold the movie rights. They still make all the money from toys and shit. They still
yeah. But for like the actual movie that what is it peaked over $1 billion, correct? That was like why Marvel was like, next time when we renew the contract, we're going to get a bigger cut, and Sony's like, WTF, mate? Nah. And then now we're in this situation where Mama and Dad are fighting, and we're just kind of poor little Tom Holland.
So I've got like some theory stuff on, because I was thinking about it from the perspective of like, okay, Marvel or Disney is raising the price, and so Sony's like, we're not gonna do that. And I thought the power play was on Disney the whole time.
Or Disney.
Really?
I've been saying Marvel this whole time. I really meant it.
And so like, and that is the way that is kind of the way it is, because Disney's so huge, but also Sony is massive. Like and so I was thinking about the power play from Sony's side of saying no to whatever it was that Disney demanded, and now Sony kind of has a power play of not just everybody kind of from the outward appearance it looks bad, like everybody's like, our Spider-Man, what are you doing? But also Sony can now use that momentum of how bad everybody wants Tom Holland as Spider-Man to sell those rights to Disney if they want, like, and name kind of their not rights in terms of. You don't think that'll ever happen? Because I feel
maybe
like
not ever, but not now. They would only do it.
Name their price, for Disney to buy it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
and Disney wants to buy it.
Exactly,
they want to buy
that's
everything.
That's what I'm saying. Because what is Sony gonna do with it? Are they gonna make another Spider-Man movie? Like, maybe some people go see it, but it's gonna have such a bad reputation along with it. You know what I mean?
One of the articles I saw. Well, here's another thing though. Yes, Wilson. Because all the Marvel movies have gotten so big, there are a lot of people who go see them because of what they are. But there's still a lot of people who don't know all the things that we know. They're like, oh, another Spider-Man? Why is this a different Spider-Man? What happened? That's still a big chunk of people. So they're not even going to know anything about this Sony Disney thing. But also, one of the things I keep seeing, and I haven't actually read the details, but the one article was like, the details are starting to come out about what stuff Sony wouldn't be allowed to even talk about or mention, there's almost no way for them to make a movie that's continuous from the previous ones without rebooting it, because they can't talk about anything that happened in any of their own movies. So I don't know, we'll see. It makes me sad.
We'll have to see. Right now it's bad news.
All right, Azrael speaks. Which Marvel characters are you? In his opinion, Wilson is Deadpool, Lego is Mr. Fantastic, Mana is Hindsight Lad.
I don't even know what the fuck that is.
I know.
That's fine. I'm Girth.
Yo, that could be used to your advantage, though. You know what I'm saying?
But he's classic.
That sounds like if you could have one superpower, it'd be to make things bigger, and we all know.
Oh, it's not the worst superpower to have.
Not the worst superpower.
So what is mine again? I'm Googling
Hindsight Lad.
Hindsight Lad? Are you making fun of me?
I don't know. It's not my opinion.
I feel like he's making fun of me somehow.
I'll take Deadpool. I try to make a joke out of most things and kind of laugh things off. Yeah.
Oh.
And Ryan Reynolds is handsome, so I said it. Hindsight is useless, to be honest.
Lad.
I don't know what any of this is.
Well, I was in Civil War, so that's cool.
What?
He was in Civil War. In the
movie?
comics.
Oh.
No, the comics.
I was like, no, he wasn't. What movie did you watch?
So what?
It
No,
was
the
comic
actual
first.
Civil War.
I'm
What was
clearly,
the actual question?
I'm clearly Thor, right?
What did we just?
Anyways.
Already once I feel like what is the actual question? Because I feel like we've gone through this before.
What Marvel character are you?
Yeah, we did this once, right?
I was about to say.
Yeah,
we
but it was a
definitely
lot of
had,
fun.
because we couldn't figure out who I was. I think
Didn't
Hawkeye.
Didn't Monk say he was Ant-Man because he had that I don't want to go back to jail vibe or something?
Yeah. Exactly. And then I'm pretty sure I ended up being Captain America.
Yeah,
even though you
yeah, you're
didn't,
Captain
like
America.
you reluctantly agreed with me.
No, you're
And
still
you-
Drax because you don't.
were Iron Man, or
I
no,
was
you
pretty
thought
much-
you wanted to be Iron Man, but you were who instead?
No, I convinced you that I could be Iron Man if I wanted to.
But then you decided you weren't, and instead you were.
I think I was Peter Quill, maybe.
Yeah, Peter Quill. That's right. That makes a lot more sense.
We had a good conversation about this already.
That was a
Yeah,
good
this
one.
is we nailed that one down pretty good.
Oh, I nailed you pretty good.
No, just mana
Oh,
Wait.
on a roof.
oh yeah.
What?
Mana mounted me. Remember when you mounted me?
Which time?
What?
There's one time he wanted to throw his pants off in a dumpster. Wait for me.
I was there for that one.
Out of context, that sounds really awful.
Oh my god.
It was a surprise to everyone.
So questions. What's today's date? The 22nd. So I need to go back to like.
This is
Okay.
23rd, ain't
It's
it?
the 21st.
22nd.
I was
Yo,
right.
we're
Everybody
everywhere.
told me I was wrong. Okay.
I'm living in the future, man.
Anything after the 16th.
I got it. I got it. You ready?
Thought Hove was on top
I
of
guess. Just like
What
beat him.
what movie? This is a non. What movie or any form of media, book, short story, game shook you the most? Like the one that still sticks with you as scary.
Oh man.
What was the question again? Like anything?
I thought
Like
about
anything
this.
that just like
Something
shook
that
at
like
you?
shook you. Yeah, it shook at you.
I may have already told you guys this one time.
Any
It was like it was the movie. It was the movie with Signs.
Oh.
That I ever
Really?
tell you when I was younger, and the part where the alien sticks his fingers underneath the doors.
Wait, where did the alien stick his
Like-
fingers? Are we talking about a real life
Under-
experience you had?
No, the movie.
When the alien
no,
stuck
here,
his fingers.
Alien.
underneath the door.
Wilson is the conspiracy
But-
theorist here.
Listen,
here's-
they've been
here's the
known to
thing.
anal probe, all right, according to the conspiracies. So you may be onto something there, Hope.
But the thing was, I was young. Okay, so where my room was at my house I was in kind of like the bottom floor. It was like the basement, but it wasn't really like under basement. It was just like there. But see, the window was right there on ground floor. So whenever like someone came home late or something, I see their silhouettes past the window, and it ever since that movie that never really messed with me until that movie happened, and it messed me up for a while, man. I don't know why it shook with me. It was
Quit
just
saying
like,
shooketh.
it's a good
Wow.
word.
I don't
I
even think
guess,
it's a word.
It's the verb I'm choosing.
I
It's
mean, like
sugar.
any documentary about prison is pretty terrifying. But like movie-wise, like I went and saw Inglorious Bastards in the movie theaters, and it wasn't the movie itself. It was there was a guy that had like some really old school like military stuff on that was like there. Like he was extremely old. Like had to have people help him around and stuff, and he wanted to go see that movie. And he had a pretty negative reaction to it in the movie theater, so that was kind of fucked up.
But it was. I
It
don't
was
know.
because of the movie, though, and like because I was there for that. Now that moment is associated with that movie for me.
That's what shooketh you.
Interesting.
Trickle down fucking PTSD.
Yeah, that would mess me.
It was not a cool place to be in at the time.
I got two. I've mentioned, I think, at least one of them before. One is the game Yearwalk. It's a Swedish horror game on the iPhone.
I love Swedish horrors.
Whenever, like, because at first I started to play it and I was like, I don't know, it's not really my thing. And then eventually I was like, you get in the mindset and just finish it. And I finished it. And when you finish it, there's like, it says for more info or to go deeper or something, like download this other app. And I was like, okay, I kind of want it, because it was supposed to be like developer notes and stuff. And I was like, I kind of want to know the history of this. So you start reading it, that you download this other app, and it's like a kind of talking about him as he wrote the game. And it's like he's like, it's like a diary in a horror movie where he's talking about like events that are happening to him while he's making the game. And it like gets really freaky really fast. And it stuck with me afterward. Like after I finished the game and everything, I was like, it's one of those things where like the game kind of translates into real life. And then you're kind of like, wait, is it a game? Is it real? You're not sure. And stuff like that really gets to me. And so that was really creepy and really cool. Like just the whole thing they did there. And then also on top of that, the movie, The Endless, which is, it just came out last year, this year even. It's incredible. Indie movie guy made it. He also did The Spring and Resolution. And so I saw Resolution. It was just a B like horror movie that I wanted, that we were just digging through the pool of movies like, oh, here's an indie one, let's try this. And we watched it and it was good, but I also kind of like had forgotten about it after a while, because while it was good, I was like, oh, okay, that's that. And we watched so many that I kind of like just move on, And then The Endless came out, and I didn't realize that it was the same director or anything. And there's a piece, like an actual scene from from Resolution, like the actual like set and people that is in The Endless, but I had no idea it was the same director or anything. And so I'm watching it and I was like, wait, this is the scene from that other, is this a scene, have we seen this movie? And Bethany was like, no, we haven't seen this movie. And I was like, wait, but I know these characters. This was in that other movie. And then it starts playing out, and it's like you get this bigger picture of what's actually going on, and you have no idea they're connected. And it came that like out of body experience sort of thing started happening. And I was like, whoa, this is so freaky. What's going on?
Well,
and
who does know it's connected?
Awesome. No.
Everybody who listens to this podcast.
Yes. No. Well, that's the thing. Like, it's not a surprise. It's not supposed to be a surprise, but it was for me in the moment. You know what I mean?
Spoiler alert.
It's not a spoiler. Like, if anything, you would have never seen one movie unless you saw the other and really loved it anyway.
Sure.
So
it's fair.
I have a less like crappy, morbid answer. I guess a movie that like, I guess it wouldn't really like, it freaked me out as a kid, but it changed my life, was Fire in the Sky. It was a story about, what the hell was the guy's name? Like Travis Walton. Yeah, Travis Walton. But a guy that claimed that like he had like a crazy like UFO abduction experience. Had the entire town looking for him for like weeks. And he just like shows up like naked randomly in town with like no recollection, like really weird stuff. The events that he claimed that these people, it's not just him, it's like an entire town of people that like some really weird shit happened, and they made a movie out of it. That changed my life. I mean, I instantly went to the library, was checking out like UFO books, all this stuff. I mean, like that movie could have single-handedly turned me into the conspiracy Wilson that I am today, basically. Like, it was fucking life-changing, dude.
Wow.
It was a good movie. It's a good movie. Fire in the Sky. Check it out.
The wheel in the sky keeps on turning.
Yeah. Oh, Hove, I want to add to what you said about mine, because I just want to, if someone was interested in those indie movies, I just wanted to say I didn't spoil anything. Like, all the movies he's like put out, like if you go and look, all of them are connected in some way. It's just some of them more than others, and you don't really know how, and you don't know why. And so if you're interested in the mystery horror like kind of genre, go check out those movies. It's super intriguing.
Do you know what else you should do, Lego?
Get the name of Wilson's documentary he was talking about so I can watch
Fire in the Sky. He already told us it if you were listening. No, with all the connections and everything, I know nobody reads anymore, and it's a lot of work because there's a lot of books. But the vast majority of Stephen King's books all tie together in this ridiculous... It's incredible if you've read them. I'm talking like...
And ridiculous.
So many of them. And then the Dark Tower series is where they kind of all come together, and it's the best series I've ever read, ever. But anyway, mine is probably the Blair Witch Project. It was just a really interesting like combination of when it came out, like where I watched it, like it was just terrifying at the time. Like,
see, they're coming out with a game, like a survival horror game. Blair Witch, yeah, looks really fucking good.
It was like a first person, like horror. Yeah, anything that has to do with horror and first person, it was just like I never want to play it, but I also kind of try.
It makes me want to fucking get VR, dude, and get immersed and just embrace the terror, dude.
I need to play more VR. Did I tell you guys that at the bowling rink a couple weeks ago or whatever?
I'm sorry, the what?
What did I call it? Did I say bowling rink?
The bowling rink?
Yeah, I said that, by the way. I know, we're just gonna...
Real talk, man, I call it that too, and now I won't. So thanks for taking one for the team, bud.
Wait, you call it a bowling rink?
Dude, I fuck up all kinds of words.
Yeah, me too, yeah. You're basically the only one who knows.
Stop talking about it, I'm embarrassed. Yeah. Anyways, back to that place with the bowling balls and stuff. But they had arcade, and they had the 4-player VR. And it was the funnest thing ever. It was like you're standing in these like cubes and VR gun and all that, and you can turn around and see each other, but you can't really walk around because, of course, limited space and all that. And it's just kind of like a horde mode VR, but 4-player, and it's the coolest thing ever because the people on the outside that are watching you can look up and there's 2 screens, and the screens flip back and forth between each player, and then like third person, and you can see like everyone fighting and all that. It's one of the coolest things I've ever played.
I really want to get VR, man. Have you guys seen the Star Trek Bridge Crew VR?
No.
I've heard about it, but I haven't seen it.
You're the bridge crew. You have someone maintaining power. You have a captain. You have someone like I already said that, like diverting power to like shields and weapons, and then like the shields platforms and the weapons platforms. They're all manned by actual people. And they're relatively simple tasks to start with. Like they'll send you on an easy mission where like you'll be confronted by one ship and you decide like, do you want to power up your shields and run from it, or do you want to power up your weapons and fight it? And it gets you into the swing of things, but you start getting into like some increasingly harder situations, like some Kobayashi Maru shit, like an unbeatable scenario. You know what I mean? But you could take it a step further, and the guys that I saw play it, they were role playing it. So like he was really taking his like captain job like way too serious, and like some people were like not taking their job so serious. Like it looks really fun, and it's all in VR, so you're on the Enterprise like bridge, like the command center and
That's
stuff.
Cool.
And yeah, it's amazing. There's so many cool things, man, I want to do with VR, but time
and money
speaking
and space.
Good transition there, because the next question, all the way from the skating alley, which is next to the bowling rink, Logan Bierman asks, in 10 years will we even be using controllers, or will it all be VR? I hope we're still using controllers. I'm way too lazy to only do VR unless there's there's like a sleeping simulator in VR. I am down. I will fuck that up.
Like the new Black Mirror, where you like put the thing on your head and you just kind of go like into this VR world. That's what I feel like that.
Oh, well, then I'm in.
I think I think with some aspects,
Sword Art Online sort of stuff. Yo, I'm down.
Yeah.
I think for certain experiences, VR is gonna be like tier 1. Like if you want to like completely portray yourself as somebody completely different, and like VR chat, you get like avatars and stuff like that. I honestly,
Ready Player One.
I've said this before. I think the future is augmented reality, in my opinion. You go outside and things, maybe, Google Glasses were way ahead of their time. They were too soon. And I don't mean that in a good thing, like way ahead of the time in a good way. I feel like they just haven't quite figured out how to make them like seamless and make you not look like a total fucking dork for wearing them. But I think it's augmented reality. I think like going outside, putting on a pair of glasses or something, or maybe even in the future, fucking contact lenses. You know what I mean? Like, and
did you imagine playing Pokemon Go with that shit and just seeing all the Pokemon actually around you?
Well, there actually is a video that I saw. Like, one of the guys from the Pokemon company was on top, was like way up in, you know, the high rise of his building in Japan, and like put this pair of glasses over the phone that he was recording with, and you could see like holographic projections of like all the gyms and like what Pokemon were defending the gym above it and stuff, just like in game. But like, you know, but like, I mean, imagine like being able to go outside and go for a walk in a completely different place. Like, VR is cool and all, but like until they get that like neural sensory like link where you can touch and feel through VR,
the Matrix,
you know, imagine like putting on AR glasses, walking through the forest, and all of a sudden you're in like a Venus wasteland, like an old forest that used to be there, you know what I mean? And you're actually touching and feeling stuff, you know? I think augmented reality is the future, personally. But to answer the question, hopefully we're using a controller still.
Do you guys, we good on that one? Because I was going to say, we got a lot more questions, and we're not going to get to them all. We're running pretty tight on time here.
Okay.
Thanos asks, you have all the stones. How do you choose to balance the universe?
Wait, hold on. Did we talk about Thanos on last episode? I can't remember if we told the story about what happened, because it was the best thing to come out of the REZOcast Discord yet was Thanos all of a sudden shows up. Like, it just says Thanos, and his icon
we
is
get
Thanos.
like the bot comes in and says like, welcome Thanos. Like, we were like, oh, okay.
And then you tell a story, because I can't remember.
I don't remember now. He came in and said like, I am inevitable. Like, there was some back and forth, but then he said, I am inevitable, and Marcus put the gif of we did talk about it because you yelled at me for saying spoilers. Tony Stark putting on the Infinity Gauntlet saying, I am Iron Man, and then booted Thanos from Discord.
Yeah.
It was funny.
Oh, hell no. That's pretty fucking good, man.
Funniest thing. It was so
Marcus
good.
would do that.
Okay, what was Thanos' question? Sorry,
you have all the stones. How do you choose to balance the universe?
Oh, gosh. It's like, how do you bring about world peace is the question.
Not really. I mean, his thing was more about that civilizations were going to, like, destroy themselves, like, not have enough resources. Now, I saw somewhere that, you know, in the Infinity Stone rules that it can't do this, but, like, instead of killing half the people, why can't you just double the amount of, like, resources in space?
Yeah, that seems like the smarter thing to do.
Fuck that, I'm sending everyone back to the fucking Stone Age. You sit over there, you have a timeout, and you have a timeout for about 10,000 years.
I don't think that's gonna do anything.
What, like revert everyone back
like
to Stone
modern?
Age? You can't, like...
What?
Well, then
technology? Nothing?
The population, you're still killing, like, I feel like more than half the population.
They'll be fine. Rub some sticks together.
Listen, I'm just gonna say Thanos had a point. Let's just get rid of half the people. No, I'm just kidding.
Or
I like
you create. How about this? You create a second planet. Wherever, like,
pretty much what I said. Like, double the resources or space, like planets.
Okay,
whatever.
Here's mine. You create with the stones some other source of power that is just unlimited, like, you know, a resource that everybody can use to make food.
A super resource.
Yeah, a super resource. Like, what's weird is they kind of even did it in the Marvel universe, where they kind of like copy it to make the stuff that made Captain Marvel eventually, you know? So like, just utilize that to create power and not stop draining the Earth's resources, you know, and then from there, that will let people go to space if they want.
How about everybody just sit down?
Utilize it.
How about everybody just sit down and smoke a joint and chill the fuck out?
A planet made out of
also
wheat.
not gonna help.
Wilson snaps his fingers, and everyone in the world is suddenly smoking.
That might be worse, Wilson, because if we're talking about everyone running out of resources, and now everybody has the munchies.
I'm not gonna snap my finger and give everyone a fucking snack pack too on top of it.
But how long are they?
Boom, you got a McDouble with cheese.
Are they always token it though? Like, just for like one night?
Everyone needs to experience it once. I'm just saying. Like,
that's what you're going to snap your finger and everyone's hot.
Especially not only that, but like all the great leaders are gonna be in the same room while high. So like that way, just even
that's
better.
like.
So they could be like, "What the fuck are we doing, man?"
That's like a bro session amongst all the leaders instead of like trying.
Let's just eat this McDouble with cheese and talk it out, man.
Let's just order a pizza and chill for a little bit.
Oh my god.
Boom.
Yeah, I feel
World
it. I
peace.
feel it.
Guess what?
I
that item
it.
is already here on this planet. It's not even a fake thing.
Question. And this one, he put some thought into it. It was edited and everything for clarity.
Oh
boy.
Wow.
Atlas asks, I don't think us men realize how much we appreciate it. So here's a question. How would you react? Man already looks fucking terrified. How would you react to waking up and no longer having a dick? He then edited the question to specify that you must now sit to pee and your urethra is located at your taint and aimed downwards. Because those were all questions that were asked of him.
First of all, I imagine I'd probably be thinking with total clarity for the first time.
What was the actual question?
So, how would you feel
react
about
to not having a dick?
Yeah, how would you you woke up and your dick was just gone?
Yeah, I'd probably be thinking more clearly.
My urethra is in a different area too.
Yeah, it just comes out of your taint apparently.
I don't know, man. I'd be like, this is a dream I need to wake up from.
Yeah, I would be
I
like.
thought you were going to go a different direction.
I think it was a dream. Yeah, this is a nightmare.
No,
yeah,
it is true. You knew it could happen. You woke up. It happened.
Oh God. Yeah, not good.
Do I still have the dangly parts down there, or are they all gone too? Like
your balls?
Yeah.
You can say balls.
The danglies.
I guess that was gonna be part of my question,
dingleberries.
but like, it just says your dick's gone. So like, I guess you still have balls.
My urethra between my butthole.
I imagine I'd be pretty upset.
Yeah, I mean,
that's what I'm really concerned about. That's just strange now.
That's my answer. Upset.
Yeah.
I would be mostly just like.
I'm still going to use
I'd be just.
But I'll sit in it.
I would just be really sad.
I'd probably call Hove and be like, "Yo,
he said.
How much weed did I smoke last night?
Is everything?
What type did I smoke?
I'd just call him and be like, "Is everything all good?"
It was laced with everything.
Did you wake up this morning missing anything? Did you forget something? Is it just me? Is everything all good, man?
Did it get you too?
I mean, listen.
You know that,
like I said,
Kenobi and the first Star Wars, like I heard millions of people like cry out.
Yeah,
and suddenly silent.
That's what, like, my first thought would be: is am I alone?
Well, here's my question: What do I even need? What do I even need my balls for anymore then?
You don't. He's gone. They said
a memory.
Apparently, it's gone.
No, just
as a
thing,
memory.
right? Was it?
As a memory.
I just got really sad thinking about like there's probably somebody out there who has some situation like this.
I don't think
We
so.
probably
I mean,
shouldn't be
maybe
joking
it
about
happened, but they didn't just wake up and they just weren't there.
No.
You don't know that.
We're
Maybe it was
being
like an
very
android
insensitive
being
is what
created,
my
and they're
they're
like, "Wow, you fucked this part up."
Well, then
You
it's
know,
an
It
it
was
android.
like a really bad breakup, and
That's not
she
where I was going.
was just like, I'm taking it out.
Yeah, but
Yo, Lorena Bobbitt.
that's what I was saying.
Pretty sure I've read
Lorena
some Florida
Bobbitt.
articles about that.
No, Lorena Bobbitt is that's
yeah.
Do you know who I'm
Yeah.
talking about? Like,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but that was. I mean, it was like
She
it was
threw
cut
that shit out the window.
Out the
Yeah.
window.
That was
yeah.
cut off. This is just like it's
Y'all
not there
get-
anymore.
Go on.
Yo, go on, get.
We're being extremely insensitive right now.
You know, that's someone very angry.
Hey man, comedy has
They
no
had
limits.
the Infinity Gauntlet and wished everyone's dick away. That's what they would say.
That's how they'd
Go
solve
on,
the world's
get it.
problems. That's how they'd solve the world's problems.
Go on. Wake up dickless.
I think we hit an all-time low with this one, guys.
We definitely did.
I don't think so.
Episode
No.
name, dickless.
Thank you for joining us for REZOcast episode
I'm not done.
147.
Wait, what time is it?
This has been Lego, aka Lego Flash. You can find me on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube at Lego LE Flash. Hove, where can they find you?
You can find me waking up with a dick.
Nice.
Like my own, not like waking up like with another one. Damn it. I'm Hove. You can find me on Twitter. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I'm so. I'm Hove. Somebody's got to pull it together here and be professional. You can find me on Twitter at how does Twitter work? At Hove76. You can also find me here on Twitch, twitch.tv/host76 every Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, with probably a dick. I'm done.
Where at?
I couldn't breathe for a
Is it
second.
attached?
It's attached.
Mama Gator, where can they find you?
Oh god, I'm so sorry.
You can find me on Twitch, Twitter at Mama Gaper.
Hey, at least you didn't wake up with all the dicks.
You gotta upgrade my name.
Ma'am Gator.
I just want to tell you, it was just pointed out to me that none of us can breathe because of all the dicks.
It's
a lack of thereof.
Wait, what just happened?
Oh my god.
There's too many dicks.
You can find me on Twitter recovering.
Wait, no, that wasn't real.
Manna just said Mama Gaper and that was it. We moved on.
No, look it up. That's his Twitter now.
Don't look it up. I feel like you might find something.
Don't look it up. You can find me recovering.
Mama Gaper.
You can find me recovering from 2 all-time lows on the podcast at Ryu Wilson.
But for real though, if you want to come back to me, it's Manigator, the Manny, something. I don't even know anymore, man. Just Manigator.
The Manny?
What? Find me.
The Cock Goblin.
Jesus Christ. That's my villain name.
Well, if you want to learn more,
by the way, the Cock Goblin.
About
I'm
Team
sorry.
Resolute,
you
can find more about them at Team Resolute on Twitter. You can also find more about these amazing Blue microphones and headphones we've been using at bluemic.com, who are our wonderful sponsors. And you can get 20% off. I don't know if the store is still down.
No, it's down until sometime in September. We'll let you know. But
okay,
it's
we'll
transitioning
let you know.
over since their partnership with Logitech and Astro. Their portal is changing over, so the store can't use our discount code, but you will be able to get 20% off soon.
Yeah, but go check them out. Amazing products. Trying to think if there's anything else we need to plug.
Plug that dick.
What?
I was gonna say, never mind.
Oh my god.
Hove, you're ridiculous.
There's that hole between Manna's.
3 all-time lows.
Wow. 3
all-time lows.
I think Manna's done too. Until next time, y'all. GG.
Toodaloo.
Do you want us to GG?